From the time that we arrive here until we grow up to where we are now, wherever that is determined by the stories that are given to us. From the time we're born, we're told what kind of clothes to wear, where to eat, how to sit up straight, how to speak, what kind of language to communicate with, what schools to go to. The culture is defined for us as we move along, and eventually we start to formulate our own story. And that causes us to start asking questions. Well, why do you want me to go here? I'd rather go there. I don't like that kind of food. I actually prefer this kind of food. I don't want to listen to that music. I want to listen to that kind of music, because things are coming up inside of us. And how much time and attention we give to the story inside of our own heads versus the stories that are coming from us from the outside will determine the course of our lives. See, when I was younger, the story in my head was simply this: you are not academic material. You're not worthy of that class, that AP class, the advanced class. Remedial math was what I was placed in my first year of college, because the story in my head was, you can't do more than that. That's not how you were, that's not the environment that you grew up in. But because I looked around me and saw some other people doing, as David Bridgeforth said, doing what I wanted to do, realizing the possibilities that I saw, I said, hey, well, maybe it's possible that I can learn too, that I can expand in my mind and my consciousness. I can actually be smart, and it's okay. So I replaced that belief, the old one, with a new one. Your story is the same. I want you to keep tweaking it. I want you to find out what is serving you and what is not. There are parts of your story that don't serve you. There are things that you are identifying with right now and living up to that are not in alignment with your greatness. And I need you to take a look at that story. Take a personal inventory. Be bold about it. Be courageous about it. Be honest. You will find origins of some of your behavior right now back from when you were 5, 4, 6, 13, 16 years of age. If you look at that story, you can change it. If you take that inventory. How many of you all like competition? Raise your hands. Okay, good. I hate to inform you about this, but there really isn't a lot of competition. There's not. You know why? Because most people are not willing to do the things today in order to get the things tomorrow that other people are not going to get. There's very little competition. So if you have yourself, hold yourself to a higher standard, and you're reaching above and beyond who you think you can become, most people are not going to be thinking that way. It's like being in the Matrix. You can see things that other people can't see. And people will look at you like you're strange. Where are you going? I'm going to get an A. And they're like, whoa, that dude's strange. And if people are not looking at you like you're a little strange, like you're a little off, then you're doing something wrong. If you're not reaching and people are not saying, whoa, what are you trying to do? Then you're doing something wrong. Let me hear you say, I can do more because there is more in me. See, let me warn you about the conversation that we're having today. The human mind, it's been proven by psychologists that we only live up to 1/3 of our actual potential. 1/3, that's 30%. Let me hear you say 30%. That means there is 70% more for you to do. That means there's someone else sitting in your seat. That means there's somebody else standing in your shoes. That means the idea that you have, the goals that you want to pursue, the person that you want to become is waiting, watching. Your dream is watching you, waiting on you. Come on, bring me forth. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go. All right, let me hear you say preparation equals power. One of the first lessons I learned about preparation and power was this idea that I had, something that I wanted to pursue, something that struck me with a sense of passion and urgency that made me want to move. However, I was hesitant. I wasn't sure if I could actually do it. How many people here have had ideas or goals and you talked yourself out of the possibility of even trying to do it? Raise your hand. That's right. So sometimes there's something that becomes so overwhelming that you go ahead and do it anyway, even though you have the fear. And that first thing for me was Stacey Howard. I was in the 6th grade. And I saw her across the classroom and I said, I have got to talk to that girl. but I couldn't figure out how to do it. I was nervous, my palms were sweaty, and I was trying to think of something clever to say, and I would sit and I would practice writing notes. And you know how you visualize before you materialize? So Ed loves Stacy, Stacy loves Ed. I wrote the notes. I had visions of us walking on the playground hand in hand. And eventually I got up the nerve to say hello to her, to introduce myself. Now, in our head, it always plays a little differently than what actually happens in real life. In my head, it was, hey, how are you? My name is Ed, and I'd like to be your boyfriend. But in reality, when I got up to her, it was, hi, nice to meet you. But it didn't matter, because the fear eventually overcame itself because I put myself out there. Which would you rather be, terrified or bored? I guarantee you this, when that eagle took that baby and dropped the baby was terrified. Without that fear, would never have learned how to fly. So I want you to go to that place where you are afraid in order to get to the new place of discovery and productivity in your life. So that was my first lesson. And yes, she did eventually become my girlfriend because I had focus, faith, and follow through. I was persistent.